Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about exchanges and general how customer service reacts. And I got two different companies, I suppose, whom have had a situation that wasn't so pleasant. And we're going to see how both of them react. One not so recent, one very much so recent. The one not so much that's not so recent is Binance. As way back in November, I was unable to withdraw coins because I tried to I talked about this before, just fooling around, not really fooling around, but yes, fooling around and taking very micro amounts to see if I can withdraw coins. And I accidentally sent it to the wrong address, and knew I made the mistake. And their automated script said, due to unusual activity, they suspending withdrawals. Okay, whatever. I do a KYC and everything. Like 2 times I contact chat. Twice they said they're going to come back to me. They never did. And finally, on the third set back, and it took months later, they did get back to me. And they ended up making it so I could finally deposit or withdrawing again. But again, it shouldn't have taken as long as it did. It was late November when this was going on. And I just within a week, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, was able to get my withdrawal feature back. So during the great bull market run and during the time frame, I mean, gambles are a gamble. So what happened was it was late November. It was like right somewhere in here or whatever when Bitcoin prices were near 20,000. And I was thinking to myself, and I barely have like a low 4-figure amount that if this is going to get real, but I'm trying to get a hold of Binance. They can't even get a hold. It's like there's nothing that no existence of features in that. They're not contacting me. It's like they don't think I exist. They don't know I exist. And how am I going to get this claim solved if the customer service system is just that bad? So if this has to get to a lawyer situation, I want to make sure it's worth a big amount. I thought the best risk reward gamble was Ripple. So some bets lose and win, and Ripple was a big loser. Whatever. I could have ended up winning on that bet, and I could have been like, oh, even I normally wouldn't have done this, but I got several thousand or more, I got whatever more because of a Ripple bet. Well, I end up losing a little bit because of Ripple bet, so be it. And it's not really about that. It's about like how the heck does it go through all of December? No contact whatsoever. And then even a good chunk of January, over 55 days. And every single time when I would try to withdraw, it would look something like this. The only thing you would see wrong with my account or different would be just this. As when you go to there, you have to, you go to the withdrawal, do your verification, and then push the submit button. And then this would come up every single time. Withdrawals have been temporarily disabled due to risk control. Now, originally they said it was due to unusual activity, which is the same, which is why this would be the case. But I had to do this on your end. You had to KYC stuff, so I did, and everything's fine. So you go to my account, you would see 100 Bitcoin limit. Everything good to go, and you would see nothing that would state even that I couldn't withdraw. The only way you would know that I couldn't withdraw was actually try to do so, and then get this message. Well, I contacted them afterwards, just explaining a lot of my frustrations and everything. And then when they sent me an email back, I realized 2 things. One, I'm probably never going to log in. And the second thing I realized will be after the email I read. As I get this email, and this is January 19th at 14:22 GMT. And just moments before that, I made my withdrawal, thanking them that I could withdraw my coins. But really, that was somewhat sarcastic, and everything else was in real no sarcasm whatsoever, in good form stating of why I was unhappy in the situation. When they come out and state, "Hi Derek, thank you for the follow-up and the honest feedback. We are sorry to hear that your recent experience was not up to your satisfaction. That is not the kind of experience that they want them to have. The ticket was now escalated." And we'll see if it's escalated or not, because I'm thinking I don't believe that. That's what I thought. As we truly value your feedback to help improve their service, feel free to reach out if you have any concerns. Again, my sincerest apology for the inconvenience that has caused myself. Wishing me all the best and everything. And I'm thinking, am I ever going to get an email from them? And why would I ever want to trade on that site again? And I guess it's an emergency backup site now for me, and that's where Binance will lie. I had no choice but to reorganize my portfolio and manage such based on how other exchanges would have their coins. The only coin that I own that I have to trade on Binance is Theta Fuel. And I don't want to trade it right now. I don't want to trade that coin. I want to hold it. In fact, that was weird thing. It just happened to be at late November. It worked out that I have like 1% or 2% less Theta Fuel than when I started with, and a couple extra free Litecoin. So not bad. And now I got the coin that I really had from before, and I can then now use this coin on the Theta Fuel store. If there's anything maybe later where people need Theta Fuel, I'll have it. And if it has a major uprise in value, then I'll have a good 5-figure sum in my Theta hardware wallet. And I mean, I looked at that. I could have bought a few video game systems before. I'm like, I mean, they were sold out at the time, but there's other things. I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. And there's no need. Again, right now, I don't feel there's any need for me to trade on Binance. And this is why I like to hold all my coins in my own hardware wallets. You just never know what kind of shenanigans that can come up with exchanges. You don't own them when they're there. They're the ones that own them, and they owe you. Thus, you own an accounts receivable to the assets. And more times than not, things will work. But all it takes is one bad times, one dirty egg to make things rotten, basically. So that's what happened with Binance. Now, as I mentioned on here so many times before, I've had fantasy. I'm a fantasy sports player, and particularly that with DraftKings. It just happened to work out that at a very key moment in time, the site just wasn't working. And I even was able to record how their site was down and everything else was going extremely fast. Sent them a copy of the video. And we've had about 5 or 6 email conversations back and forth already. And well, that's now been sent to the higher ups. But when I'm looking at this is Saturday night. Obviously, I know what it's like working in places where the day shift and the night shift scenarios lights are like. I've over too many night shifts in my life to know how days and nights work, and weekends and days, and how the business crew or the office crew, if you will, the white staff or whatever. Especially when I've been part of like, I had a job where I was kind of both the white and blue collar workers. I was half office and half the regular people, if you will. It's kind of weird, but anyway, I just know that the more powerful people don't work at nighttime. So I'm going to be curious to see how well, and their customer service has been fantastic. Now, how this worked out was at 9:53 p.m. Finally, the Ottawa Senators announced that they were going to be starting Hoiberg as their starting goalie, and the cutoff time for the game is 10 o'clock. And I kind of had a feeling he probably was going to start, but I put their normal starter in, Matt Murray, in my lineups. And then once I say, okay, I go to DraftKings, and yet the site's not working. It's not working, and other sites are working fast, and waiting. It's like 9:53, 9:54. Then I go on my phone. I hate using my internet phone. I hate using the phone, period. But so I'm on the phone, and I'm trying to get it to work, and the site loads, albeit slow. And when I'm trying to do the swap of the players, it says trying to find players you can swap with, and it just couldn't go any further. It was pretty much dying out. And the site never came back on for an hour later, actually. And they were saying they weren't having any major problems, yet I even knew of local people in the area also facing the exact same problem. So it was a place a couple miles from here that was having the same problems as well. So therefore, I'll be very curious to see how they respond. Now, as far as the net result and stakes in this case, we're probably talking, as far as Matt Murray being considered in there, barely over $100, 150 maybe 160. Yeah, 150, 100. And the net result for the game would have been irrelevant because I was going to lose 100% of my bets, given the fact that the Winnipeg team scored 5 goals on the Ottawa Senators against the goalie tonight. But it really doesn't reflect that as it is. But I'll be curious to see in which it will be resolved, because they've been very, very good. They've been tremendously amazing within customer service. So here I have at the same time one of the, probably as far as how they work out, probably one of the best that I've dealt with and the worst. Binance being amongst the very bottom. And I've had nothing but great results from that of the customer service, of course, when I've needed to from DraftKings support. So anyway, that will be that. I wanted to just update you, of course, on the Binance situation. You're going to be seeing Binance on the screen so much because all of these coins in here are just going to be written in such a way where you have to read the Binance part. But I will never, ever, would ever promote them. But if you need to use them, you need to use them. For me, there's a spot where I have to make a trade and, well, I have to go there. Then I'm going to do it. And I had no choice at late November but to trade on other sites. Because once it worked out, I got stage, like back in the day, like over a year ago, I would be trading on a few different exchanges simply because I had no choice for the level of portfolio. DGB, it wasn't available on Binance at the time. Even Theta was at one point I had to trade on Huobi. And the only reason I have a Huobi account was to get Theta way back in early 2018. And at that time, I bought Huobi I bought Theta. Really, it was hours after JSNIP4 released his video, or minutes even. And I traded it there for a while. Then I got out of the trade. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like it anymore for whatever reason. Or for forgotten reason, I should be saying. And then noticed Binance brought it back. I'm thinking, you know what, I probably should buy it. And I did. And then there was DGB again. That was something I wanted to trade on Binance if I could. And I couldn't for a while. And I wasn't going to get out of it. So I got to keep trading, I guess, that on like places like Bittrex and so on. But then all of a sudden they have it and I can trade that there. And they have everything all of a sudden now. So it got to the stage where I didn't even need any other exchange, no matter what crossing I had. It was a crossing on Binance. So it's really went like from November like 15th, 20th, or whatever that date was beforehand. 100% of my trades were on Binance with 100% availability to trade elsewhere. Now it is 0% of my trades will be done on Binance with 100% availability to do so on Binance. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.